regards to the current, you're in New York. Today is the day. The president, number 45, is going through what he's going through with the, Stormy Daniels, and you've seen the 91 cases, and you're hearing one side talk about that the government is using the DOJ and the justice system to attack a potential opponent. How do you process all the things that's going on? Are you supportive of the decisions they're making there and the way they're handling a New Yorkan like yourself? How do you process this whole, handling of how they've treated Letitia James, how they've handled Donald Trump?
Well, I made a decision several years ago to, stay out of the Trump world, if you will. And I've abided by that decision. So if you want my comment on the cases, I think individually some of the cases are more significant than others. I reject outright that there is a conspiracy afoot, that the weaponization of the Justice Department is determined to destroy a presidential candidate. I've been around too long. There are too many people who would have to be involved in a process like that. But, I know it's the hottest topic of discussion, especially in New York today, where the downtown of New York has been turned into a virtual circus. But, if you want a technical question about jury selection or something like that, I'm happy to discuss it. But I really don't want to talk about, Donald Trump and the various cases. I will say that based on the information I have, which comes primarily from the media, from the legal publications I read, the suggestion that all of these cases are part of one genuine conspiracy to destroy a presidential candidate, I just don't accept that.
That's based on intel you have that you're saying?
It's not based on intel. It's based on, my experience in the criminal justice system goes back more than 45 years. I know Bragg. I know that office. I was a prosecutor in that office for more than 4 years. And to suggest that, they've managed to put together a team that only specific purpose is to prosecute a presidential contender, to me, is just doesn't make any sense. And, I point out that an independent grand jury indicted him. So who knows what happens in this trial? And I've, rejected invitations from every cable network and news station to be a talking head about the case and to give my, if you will, expert opinion. And I'm trying to stay away from that.
Yeah, I mean, since you said specifics, the one part about having to pay $450 million, the 383, the 83 to that E. Jean Carroll that she said he never raped her. And even on Anderson Cooper was the funniest thing where he's like, what is rape to you? Well, rape is a man's fantasy. And then Anderson Cooper's like, this girl's weird. He's trying to get off. He says, you're fascinating. And then she goes on Rachel Maddow and says, Rachel, we're going to go shopping together with this money. A little creepy, a little weird. I'm sure you're not the type of guy that wants to see your client celebrating, doing something like that with the event not taking place. And then also the other side, I'm in Florida here right now myself. I've lived in California 20-something years. 5 years Dallas, 3 years Florida, 10 years in Iran, 2 years in Germany, and a few years in the U.S. Army. And then here, when you go to Flagler's restaurant across the street from Breakers, I'm sure you've been to Breakers many, many times. And when you go to Mar-a-Lago, and for the judge to say that's an $18 million property, and all the stuff that anybody that buys a house or property, assessment, appraisal, no, you defrauded people from money, but everybody got their money. That's a little bit of, even Forbes said it's worth $450 million. Even CNN, after he was found guilty that he had to pay the money, even CNN came back and he said on a fire sale, he can sell this property for $250 to $350 million. There's a little bit of manipulation there, why I'm sure a guy like me, I'm not a political guy, I'm a business guy. You sit there and you wonder, would I ever do business in New York if you worry if somebody disagrees with your politics? What do you think about the way they handled and telling him and the rest of America that Mar-a-Lago is only an $18 million property?
Well, Mar-a-Lago is an interesting place. I've never been there, but I've seen pictures of it. And, the fact is that maybe that property was undervalued by the court. But, the heart of that case really revolved about the change in the square footage of his personal apartment from 10,000 square feet to 30,000 square feet. People around him went to jail for that discrepancy. So in the case that Letitia James brought, who knows what's going to happen, on appeal. But, it's hard to accept the fact that almost everybody around him is either gone to prison or is coming out of prison or has been pardoned by him. But, he's done nothing wrong. So I really don't want to get into a discussion about Donald Trump.
And I listen, you're in New York, man, and you're a tough guy. You're one of the best at the game. You've been around for decades. Everybody knows who you are. So when things come up like this, they're going to ask you. It's a natural question to ask, and I know it doesn't make you feel comfortable to ask that, and I can respect it. But, Ben, you're not a lightweight. You're one of the best in the space here. So let's get into the issue of Diddy, okay? Right now, I'm curious from your end. I talked to a handful of my guys that are defending Diddy, okay? I think we just had a conversation with Suge Knight a couple days ago. He called him from jail, and we had a very friendly conversation. I just had Dame Dash here a couple days ago, and we had him on the podcast. I'm talking to a lot of guys on the hip-hop side that are on Diddy's side. They're defending him. So there's a few different stories here I'm hearing from people that don't support him to people that support him, that people that are neutral, just want to know what the hell is going on here. Let's go through all of them. So one side is, well, these individuals, these names recently, right? These names keep coming up, whether it's Little Rod or, you got, what's her name, Jaguar Wright, and Diddy stealing from Biggie before his murder, or, some are saying there's some videos in every single one of his rooms that 50 Cent, some of these guys are, every room you go in there, you got to be careful. He's got a camera, even bodyguards of him saying there's cameras in there, and they have so much footage on everybody that's been there, or Meek Mill footage that's gone viral that a lot of people have watched. And then Diddy's house is being raided, one in LA, one in Miami. He's getting on a plane. Where are they taking equipment? What's in the plane? At the same time, he's having a conversation with Justin Bieber. We've all seen the video there. He's tapping the chest to see if there's any kind of, are you mic'd, are you not? And Bieber's going like this, I'm not. Usher talking about being at his house, Diddy's flavor camp when he was 13 years old. And 13 years old, you're living with a guy that's partying that hardcore at the peak. Cat Williams calling out Diddy. Some are calling him the Epstein of the music and the hip hop industry. Others are saying this whole thing is due to what happened with Ciroc, because he had the 50% of the profits that he was owed to, and that company is a $77 billion company, and they owe Diddy $2 billion. This is why behind closed doors, they're targeting him, and that's what they're doing to him. So these are the things we've read. I'm not in it. You are.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.